how this Chinese AI crashed the US stock market overnight. By the end of this video, you will understand how Deepseek works, what makes it better than other AI models, and how we are in a new Cold War between US and China.
Technology shares on Wall Street have fallen sharply in response to the emergence of a low-cost chatbot built by a Chinese artificial intelligence firm.
One U.S. company, NVIDIA, had the biggest single-day drop in history.
AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser-focused.
Problem is we got out-innovated. And it has emerged as a real player in the AI arms race. It's called Deepseek.
Is China now ahead of the U.S. on artificial intelligence?
Let's say you own a hotel and you want to use ChatGPT for your business. You might need it to understand guest behavior, who's more likely to make an extra purchase, stuff like that. When you're purchasing a commercial model of ChatGPT, you need to train it on a specific subject if it hasn't been trained before. So that will require for you to hire extra staff for the job. Probably a team of data scientists and software engineers, which are two of the highest paying jobs in US, averaging between $130,000 to $190,000 a year. And that's after you pay more than $100,000 to OpenAI for the ChatGPT's commercial license. But if you want to use Deepseek, you do not have to pay any money at all. And you don't need to train Deepseek on every subject because of its human-like reasoning capabilities. But isn't that what China does? They get a piece of technology and make a budget version that usually do not perform as well as the original one, right? Well, that's not the case this time. And this is where we need to go a little technical, but don't worry, you won't need a translator to understand it. So people usually think that scientists just build an AI model and let it learn everything on the internet, but that's not the case. Biggest AI models we know today are using specially curated and high-end quality data sets. Scientists are using these sets to show the model the problem and then show it how to solve the problem, and finally which sources to check if the outcome is true or false. This creates a supervised fine-tuning model, or as known as SFT. But this process is highly expensive, which makes it impossible for many researchers and smaller organizations to even exist in AI world. Deepseek, on the other hand, is using a method called reinforcement learning. They feed the model with an unsupervised dataset and do not provide any solutions to the problems. So model finds different paths to solve the problem and find out which one leads it to the right answer on its own, just like the reasoning skill of a human being. This creates the biggest advantage of Deepseek because thanks to its reasoning capabilities, it doesn't have to be explicitly trained on every subject like ChatGPT. You just need to feed it the problem and it will follow different paths until it gets the solution. But why does this matter at all? Well, benchmarks show that with just a 1 year of training, Deepseek performs better than OpenAI in reasoning, math, and coding tasks. And making it open source is empowering smaller models and researchers without compromising on quality. It's basically bringing AI research capability to final user, so anyone with a computer that has a decent graphics card can download and start using it right away. And that enables budget-friendly scenarios requiring advanced reasoning, long context understanding, and creative problem solving. But behind all this, there is one fact that raises all the question marks. Deepseek was not open source, meaning that it was free to use but not to download and program, which were its power lines. But in 20th of January, the day that US banned the TikTok because China refused to sell it to a US company, and the same day that US government announced $500 billion AI investment called Stargate, Deepseek announced that their AI model, R1, would now be open source and free for everyone, which caused more than $500 billion loss to NVIDIA and more than $1 trillion loss in US stock market. And this makes you think that, was this a retaliation? And are we actually in a new Cold War with China?